This is our R34 GTR. We built this car a while ago, but behind the scenes, it hasn't stopped evolving. Every detail, every upgrade, all leading to this moment. This car isn't just a build anymore. This car is a mission. Today, we're hitting the dyno with this thing and shooting for over 1,000 horsepower. And then we're gonna take this car straight to the track and see if it can back it up. And after that, we're gonna be taking this car to the throtl throwdown on May 2nd at Maple Grove Raceway. We're gonna be lining this against the big time boys, Jimmy Oakes, TJ Hunt, Jake Schnatter, Scrap Life, Lee Tavares, and Tony Angelo. This is your last chance to get tickets to the throtl throwdown this weekend, May 2nd at Maple Grove Raceway. If you wanna see us race the R34 down the quarter mile in person, click the QR code on screen, get $10 off your tickets if you use code R34. It's gonna be an awesome event. We invited a bunch of our YouTuber friends out to come drive high horsepower drag cars and see who can actually put the fastest car together. My boy Ricky's gonna be there. We're bringing the R34, we're bringing a ton of throttle cars, including the GT and our Integra, which just made over 800 horsepower. And we're also doing a drift pit. We've got a 240 SX we built here in the shop that's gonna be driving at that. We got a McGuire's car show. It's gonna be such a sick event. Maple Grove is such a beautiful racetrack. Laid out, there's a ton of land, it's gonna be awesome. So use that QR code, grab your tickets, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. So no more holding back, it's time to see what this car is actually made of. Today we're at Transmasters using their dyno, and these guys specialize in drag cars. They're the reason the Viper was so fast, and they're gonna help us get the R34 dialed in, so let's start doing some pulls. So Rick is gonna be the one on the dyno today actually doing the pulls. We're getting the car warmed up right now. He's gonna jump on, they're gonna do a pull real quick. I don't think it's gonna be a full throttle, full power pull, but I just wanna make sure everything's working. The fuel system is responding correctly and the car's actually doing what it's supposed to do. So let's get to it. I brought earmuffs for a reason, Sean.
I need those.
You need those?
Yeah.
Have we checked tire PSI?
No. Under the car. Under the car. What the? Where's that coming from? So we got a little bit of a trans leak. We're trying to figure out where it came from. It only started leaking as soon as he let off. So I don't think it's anything major. I think it's probably something not super serious. The car sounds insane. It was only 8,500 RPM. This thing revs to like 10 plus. So it's gonna sound wild once we get it up on the pipe.
Hey Rick, you wanna fire her up? Go ahead. It had to have vented it. Did we check the fluid level on this thing, or?
I'm not really sure what that whole dipstick is, but it should have been just to the top of the pan level, but maybe because the way it's all sideways, it doesn't like that and it's spitting it out.
So it doesn't seem to be anything major problematic like a bad fitting or something. The transmission pan on this thing is kind of weird because it's an all-wheel drive setup. The pan is like at a really steep angle, so it's a very good possibility that it just vented it out of the vent as soon as he let out. So we're gonna keep going, watch what the transmission is doing, and see if it does it again. So on that pull, keep in mind that was a test pull, not a full pull. We still have almost 2,000 RPM left on the table for engine-wise, and that wasn't a crazy test, but the car made, where's our number at? 866. That's 866 wheel?
Wheel.
Yeah. That's a freaking proper number already. So we're gonna be probably deep into the thousands if we start messing with the boost controller once this thing gets cleaned up. As you can tell, it's kind of all over the map. So we gotta get that sorted out, but this thing's gonna make some pretty good numbers. All right, let's do another pull. The insulation out of the ceiling, dude.
Blew the insulation out of the ceiling.
Yes, it did. RPM went so quick on it that time that I had a hard time.
Gone, huh?
Yeah, I just went. I had to hurry up and shift it.
Oh my
God.
It was a 97.
It pulled to about 1043, then had a little bit of a boost spike. Then we saw 1162, and then right towards the end of the pull in high gear, we saw 1160 or 1064.
Hearing that?
Okay. Jesus.
So we're at about possibly 1060.
1060.
1060 to the tire.
So the graph isn't very stable.
No, this, I mean, you can see the boost curve coming in. It's nice and linear, and it's somewhere around here where it just peaks out in boost. I don't know if that's just in a timing zone.
We're over 1,000.
That's
Over
a
1,000
lot.
at the wheel. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Easy.
That's a lot. We puked a little bit out of the trans that time, not a lot.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna keep cleaning that up
Yep, exactly.
until it stops doing that.
And then we'll check the level and see where we're at with everything.
Oh, we're leaking something from the motor. Oh, the coolant overflow. Pushing water. Yeah, we're pushing water on the dyno. That's not good. Means the head's starting to lift. Oh, we're overpressurizing the cooling system. Coolant temp's only at 152, so it pushing that much water out of the overflow is not really ideal. So it's possible that the cooling system is starting, or the engine's starting to lift the cylinder head off the block, and that's like compression going through the head gasket, which is not ideal. Okay, so now we're gonna do pull at 15 pounds. This is much lower boost than the last one, and we're gonna see if the thing pushes water again. It shouldn't. We're just gonna see what kind of numbers it makes and see where we land. So let's do it. Still puking a bit of fluid, so the level's not dialed in yet. Let's see how much water it pushed on that one. Almost nothing. So if we keep it at a lower power level, it's not going to push a lot of water, which is a good thing. It means the head gasket isn't actually compromised. It's just when we're at that high of a boost, we're pushing so much power, it's just starting to lift the head up. So if we keep it at a lower number, which we will for testing, and when we initially start setting the car up, it'll be fine. So it means the motor's not hurt, which is a good thing.
No, they took boost away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled boost out of it, so.
It was like 626.
Kind of landed around 630, so that's a good number for me for setting the car up initially, especially because it's all-wheel drive. So knowing that we have that low to play with, and then once we get the car dialed in, we can start upping the power and get into that 1100 horsepower range, I think is a really good thing. So next up for the R34 is a nitrous pass. We're gonna make a full pass on nitrous. The reason we're doing this is not to add power, it's to get the tune dialed in with nitrous. So what we're gonna be mainly using the nitrous for is getting this thing up on the two-step, up on the trans brakes. We can launch it really hard because this turbo is huge. So the easiest way to dial in the tune for the nitrous is to do a full pull. So we're gonna do it at a gate spring. I'm predicting it's gonna make 700-800 horsepower, so it's not gonna be insane, but it's gonna let him get the tune dialed in for the nitrous, and then we can start playing with the two-step. Apparently you didn't activate the switch. So it was supposed to be a nitrous pass, but the tuner didn't turn the nitrous on, so now I think we need to do another pass. Yeah, let's do it again, Rick. He didn't have the nitrous on. On the bright side though, the transmission is done puking fluid out, so I think we found the happy level where the transmission's happy, so we're not dripping trans fluid everywhere after each pass, which is a good sign. That sounded a little peppier.
Yeah, it got up on the RPM a little faster, but when I shifted, I don't know if it like kicked off and then it kicked back in after. So I'm not sure what RPM he has it turning on at.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
It might have like not turned back on until after it got a little higher in the RPM.
Yeah. Had a nice little fireball though, that was pretty cool.
And I saw that.
Yeah. Sick. The number's probably not gonna be too crazy because that was gate spring pressure as far as I'm aware, plus nitrous.
Pretty much right at 780.
Almost 800. Yeah. Sweet pressure, just nitrous, that's a little over a 150 shot, which
And that
is
was
perfect.
8,500 RPM.
Yeah.
So we still got 2,000 RPM
I
to go.
forget that that's only 8,500. That's
Yep.
crazy. So we're waiting for the tuner to set up the two-step, and Rick was telling us about this beautiful Bel Air that they've been doing. 598 cubic inch engine. That thing is huge. Positive displacement blower, full methanol. This is a really, really sick drag car, and they're going to fire it up for us.
A little more. All right.
Fuel on.
Barely moved at all.
So sick.
Okay, so what that was two-step, and two-step is working as it should. The turbo's building boost, so now what we're gonna try and do is an 1/8 mile hit. A full dig on the dyno, a full 1/8 mile pass. We're gonna see what the car does. Pretty well. I don't know what the smoking was from the engine, but that seemed like it went really well.
It seemed
day,
like
good
when you
lead.
shifted though,
Yeah.
like it took a while to spool back up.
No,
was he already over
it's
the
flat.
8?
I don't know where he was at.
622.
622 in the 8?
That's what it said.
That's what it just ran.
622.
So we're still not in like big power territory. This is still on gate
That was
speed.
Viper numbers.
That was Viper numbers.
That's wild.
Yeah, freaking sick.
Were you talking about horsepower, or what was the time in the?
So 1/8 mile time was a 622 at 106. Quarter mile time, we're looking at a 9.9 at 135.
There you go, Quinn. 9-second car.
Already?
10-second car.
First pass, 10-second car. That's freaking great. We've done everything we could here at the dyno. We've got 620 on the low end. We've got over 1100 at the high end. We've got a working two-step and we've got a working trans brake. The next step for this car is to get this thing on the track and see what it actually does. We are here at the Verona drag strip with the R34. You guys just saw this thing on the dyno. Now it's time to start making passes. The first step is a systems check on the car. Drive it up and down, make sure everything is working. Step 2 is our 60 foot, getting this thing to leave the line and launch correctly. Step 3 is make full passes and see how fast this thing actually is. So we've made a change to the Skyline, the wheel and tire package. We switched it up. So now we're on a Race 57DR and we've upgraded the tires to Mickey Thompson ET Street R. These are a 315. This is gonna do a lot for the car. One, it's gonna give it way more grip, and two, these are not bead locks. So I don't wanna break anything. Shattering axles is a common thing when we start going on bead locks. We found that out on a couple of our cars. If it gets way too much to overwhelm the chassis, it's gonna start spinning these tires on the wheels, which is good, instead of breaking things like the axles and the rear diff, which is bad. So this setup's gonna help us get out of the hole. It's gonna make the car a lot more stable and a lot more responsive and let it actually do its job. Now let's hit the track.
Not bad.
Straight. That thing went straight, dude.
For the first one?
That thing was straight as
I'm so excited for this. This is the first thing that thing has ever done right. That's it. 7.0 or 104. Perfect for the first one. Now we'll make adjustments. We'll see what the tire pressure is. We'll see what the video looks like. We'll do playback. We'll see the bounce and the return on the back of the car. We'll see how, if the tire even wrinkled or not. We'll see if it moved, and then we'll make adjustments.
That felt so good. Bro, what was that? First time ever, 0 adjustments. It just went, dude.
It
That was
did
insane.
something. How did it feel?
Dude, it felt freaking great. That thing just went up, went dead straight. I didn't feel any drama, dude. It just went.
Yeah, 7-0.
7-0?
7-0.
104?
First pass.
Freaking great, dude. No
Fantastic.
drama, no tire squeal, nothing. That was mental. Damn.
I'm kind of upset, bro.
There's no, it just works.
I'm kind of, it was too perfect.
Bro, after
I'm
all we've
upset.
been through to get this thing, and it just literally does exactly what it's supposed to do on the first pass is insane.
Was that low boost?
That was a low boost. So what I want to do is almost up the launch
Yes. I
until,
agree.
like, let's grab the time slot. Let's see what the 60 foot was on that.
Yeah.
It felt pretty good. It didn't feel like I was flying, but it felt good the whole pass. The car was straight. There was no drama. Hooked up, yeah. So if we can,
I think it hooked up too well.
if we can leave, so what we'll do is we'll just keep leaving harder and harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
Until, I don't know, something happens maybe. All right, the 60 foot was a 1.7. That's pretty good. For first time ever, we got some work to do on that, I think. I want to get it to like at least a 1.3.
What's your reaction time?
So,
0.4.
0.4. I wasn't worried about the light. I was just, as soon as it hit the 2-step, I was out. Best first pass ever. That was so good. Remember how long it took us to get a decent pass out of the Supra or the Viper?
Yeah, facts.
Sick. All right, let's go again.
Told you. Faster every time. 695 at 109. We already started gaining. We haven't done anything to the car yet. Just more practice. Crazy.
What'd it do?
695.
695, 109. Sick. Car feels good, man. Like genuinely really good. Everything was perfect. Like it launched harder. It felt like it went further. I revved it a little bit higher. Picking up speed. Everything feels really good. I brought it back just to let it cool down for like 5 or 10 minutes because I don't want to like
I got worried.
do hot lap and hot lap and hot lap and hot lap.
Yeah, for sure.
Car's cooled off and refilled. Now the first launch was on map 0 for launch and 0 for boost. Second was boost 1 and launch 1. Now we're gonna go up in boost and up in launch and get the car faster and faster.
Go. 691, 108. That's almost the same speed as last time. Time was faster because we did 697 last time, right?
695.
695. Okay, so more improvement.
691. 691, really?
Let's go! Finally! Holy man! That I knew it. I heard it.
We just ran a 660 at 115 miles an hour, so we're picking up speed in the Skyline, picking up better launch, picking up more boost, more RPM, and the car is feeling amazing. It feels super stable. This has been a long road to get this car here, so we're gonna make one last pass here at Verona before we head up to Pennsylvania. We're gonna turn this thing up to boost 5, launch 5, and see what this Skyline is actually made of, because we're not gonna lose our own event without putting up a fight.